The starship Aurora's Promise drifted silently through the dark ocean of space. It was a deep exploration vessel, sent from Earth to reach unknown star systems no human had ever seen before. On board were scientists, diplomats, and brave volunteers who had agreed to live far away from home for many years. Among them was Elias Reed, a calm and thoughtful human who worked as a communications specialist. Elias was not a soldier. He was not a commander. He was someone who believed that words could build bridges where fear would build walls. He spent most of his time studying alien languages and learning how to understand species with different cultures and emotions. Some people on the ship thought he was too quiet, too soft or too kind to survive the dangers of deep space. But Elias believed that kindness was not weakness and it was strength. One day, the ship detected a signal from a nearby planet. The signal was intelligent, rhythmic, and repeated in a pattern. It wasn't human. It wasn't recorded. It was alive. The captain ordered the crew to investigate. The planet they approached was a world of violet forests and silver rivers that reflected starlight like mirrors. Strange tall trees swayed even without wind, and glowing insects floated in the air like drifting petals. The atmosphere was breathable but slightly lighter than Earth's, making every movement feel slow and graceful. A landing team was sent down, and Elias was among them. As they walked through the violet forest, they heard soft melodic voices. The sound came from a clearing near a shimmering river. There they saw them, an alien species unlike any seen before. They were tall, elegant beings with luminous skin that glowed faintly like moonlight. Their hair was long and flowing, almost like water, shifting color gently with their emotions. Their eyes were large, beautiful, and filled with depth, like they carried entire galaxies within. The humans froze in amazement. The aliens watched quietly, not afraid but cautious. Then one of them stepped forward. She appeared younger than the others, though it was hard to tell age among her kind. Her skin had a soft pearl blue glow, and her hair shimmered in strands of silver and pale violet. She looked curious, not defensive. Her eyes were warm, not sharp. She held no weapon, only a gentle, questioning expression. Elias stepped forward slowly, his hands open to show he meant no harm. He took a breath and spoke carefully through a translator device that transformed words into melodic tones. "Hello. We come in peace. We seek understanding." The alien woman listened, her head tilted slightly. Then she spoke. Her voice was soft, smooth, and calming, like a breeze through crystal chimes. "Peace. Yes. We feel your calm." Her language flowed like music, and the translator struggled to keep up. "We welcome you here, travelers from the stars." The captain and the other officers relaxed, but Elias could feel something more in the air. Not just curiosity, connection. They began communicating slowly. The aliens called themselves the Luminari, a peaceful race who valued harmony and emotional resonance. They believed beauty was found not in appearance but in balance of spirit. As the discussion continued, the young alien woman stayed close to Elias, listening carefully to everything he said. She studied his expressions, his gestures, the softness in his tone. Finally, she asked him directly, "You perceive me. Your eyes hold warmth when resting on my form." "Why?" Elias blinked, slightly surprised. "What do you mean?" She stepped closer, looking straight into his eyes with innocent honesty. "Why do you call me beautiful?" Everyone turned toward them. The human crew fell silent. The Luminari tilted their heads, listening. It was a simple question, but it held weight. For the Luminari, beauty was not physical. Beauty was something felt, something connected to purpose, balance, and emotional resonance. They did not praise one another based on appearance. They did not compete or compare. They simply existed in harmony. So her question was not vanity. It was genuine curiosity, even confusion. Elias felt the eyes of both species on him. He could not laugh it off. He could not give a shallow answer. He needed to speak something true. He looked at her, truly looked. He noticed the quiet courage in her posture, the patience in her breath, the gentle strength in her presence, the way she did not hide curiosity or emotion. She was open, in a way most humans were afraid to be. So when he answered, his voice was steady and sincere. "I call you beautiful," he said, "because when I look at you, I feel peace. The clearing became absolutely silent. He continued, slowly choosing his words carefully. Beauty, for humans, is not just appearance, it is the feeling someone brings. The way their presence affects your heart. When I see you, I don't see perfection or comparison. I see someone gentle, curious, and strong in spirit. That is beautiful to me. The alien woman's eyes widened, but not out of offense, out of realization, out of surprise, out of something awakening. The other luminari whispered among themselves. They had never heard beauty described like that. They had never considered individuality as a source of value. Their society valued unity, but humans valued uniqueness. The captain looked at Elias with respect he hadn't shown before. The alien woman stepped even closer, her voice now softer. You see beauty. In spirit, in how one makes the heart feel. Yes, Elias said. To us, that is beauty. She touched her chest, right where her heart would be. Then she looked at him with something entirely new. Understanding. But the moment did not end in peace. A sudden trembling shook the ground beneath them. Birds scattered. The violet trees swayed with alarm. Both humans and luminari looked upward. Something massive moved in the sky, metallic, angular, and cold. A warship. Not luminari, not human. Its engines roared like thunder. Elias felt his heart freeze. The alien woman stepped beside him, her expression changing from gentle curiosity to alert caution. We are not alone, she whispered. The peaceful meeting was only the beginning. Something else had come. Something dangerous. Something that would test the meaning of beauty, peace, and courage, and for both species, to be continued. The sky above the violet forest darkened as the enormous metal warship descended. Its surface was covered in sharp angles and thick armor plates, unlike anything the humans or the luminari had seen before. It moved slowly, like a predator that already knew nothing could escape from it. The peaceful clearing became filled with tension. The luminari stepped back together, their glowing skin dimming with worry. The human crew looked to the captain, hands hovering near equipment and scanners, though no one reached for a weapon yet. They didn't know whether this newcomer was friend or enemy, but the quiet fear growing in the air hinted at danger. Elias felt the alien woman beside him. Her glow, once warm and calm, flickered like a candle in wind. He remembered what she said before. We are not alone. The warship didn't land. Instead, it hovered and released a series of deep, vibrating pulses that echoed across the valley. The pulses felt heavy, like pressure in the chest. Some humans flinched. A few crouched, holding their ears. Even the trees seemed to bend under the sound. The luminari leader, an elder with golden-white radiance, stepped forward to observe the signal. His voice was low and serious. This is the Vorun. They are wanderers of the void. They take, not share. They conquer, not learn. We hoped they had passed far from our world, but they return. The captain glanced at Elias, then back at the elder. Do they know about Earth? The captain asked. No, the elder replied. But they will. The Vorun do not see new life. They see new resources. The alien woman beside Elias closed her eyes. Her shimmering hair dimmed to a pale shade. They will try to take our forests, our rivers, our living trees. They believe all worlds are trophies. Elias understood, and dread settled in his chest. So they don't want peace. No, she said, voice soft but firm. They want control. The warship opened a hangar beneath its hull. A smaller vessel, more like a spear-shaped shuttle, dropped downward and landed in the clearing just beyond the river. The ground trembled from the impact. Everyone watched. The shuttle door hissed open, releasing a slow cloud of cold mist. Out stepped three beings wearing plated armor, tall, cold. The armor was dull gray, marked with red glowing lines. Their faces were hidden behind smooth helmets, but the shape of their bodies suggested they were not too different from humans, just larger and more angular. The leader of the armored figures raised an arm. A mechanical voice echoed from the helmet. This world now belongs to the Vorun Dominion. You will submit. Resistance will be answered with elimination. His tone held no anger, no pride, just absolute certainty. The captain of Aurora's Promise tried to step forward to speak, but the luminary leader gently motioned for Elias to move instead. You understand, hearts, the elder whispered. Try to stop blood before it falls. Elias swallowed hard. He stepped ahead, facing the armored figure. He kept his voice steady. We came here peacefully. So did the Luminari. There is no need for conflict. The Varun leader turned his helmet toward Elias slowly. You are human, he said. The voice did not change tone. Humans expand. Humans compete. Humans take. You are like us. That's not true, Elias answered calmly. We explore to learn, not control. Yet you claim beauty, the Vorun leader replied. You categorize. You value. You judge. You climb. Whatever you call beauty you will protect, which means you will fight for it. Elias felt the alien woman shift beside him, just slightly, as though the Varun leader's words reached deeper than physical danger. The armored figure continued. Beauty is ownership. Ownership leads to power. Power leads to domination. You know this. We know this. That is why we take worlds before others become strong enough to challenge us. The statement was chilling not because it was threatening, but because it was said like a natural law. The Varun believed conquest was survival. The captain finally spoke, stepping forward. We will not allow you to harm this planet or its people, she said firmly. The Vorun leader lifted one, armed, and his soldiers raised their weapons instantly. The clearing froze. The elder Luminari lifted his hand, glowing softly, peaceful. But it was clear the Luminari were not warriors. They defended through harmony and resonance, not force. Elias could feel it. If this turned into a fight, they would lose. The Varun leader lowered his arm slightly. Not in peace, but in amusement. You value many things you cannot protect, he said. Your emotion makes you weak. Then the alien woman stepped forward. She was small compared to the tall, armored invaders. Her glow was soft, her voice calm. But her presence held weight, something centered, grounded, steady. You do not understand, she said. We do not define value by possession. We define it by connection. What we protect is not territory, it is harmony. The Vorun leader tilted his head. Harmony is temporary. Power is eternal. Power without harmony collapses, she replied. A world ruled by fear destroys itself. A world nourished by balance endures. The Vorun soldiers shifted slightly, as if the idea itself felt unfamiliar to them. Elias realized something. The Luminari speak from the heart. The Vorun speak from logic. To reach them, words must hold outer logic while still carrying inner truth. And so Elias spoke again. This time not gently, but clearly. If you take this world by force, you will not gain strength. You will gain resistance. You'll spend your power fighting to hold it. And that will weaken you. But if you allow cooperation, you gain resources without conflict. You gain knowledge. You gain alliance. The Vorun leader paused. The silence felt heavy. It was not victory, but it was hesitation. A hesitation was enough to prevent immediate destruction. The leader finally replied, We do not reject alliance, but we only ally with those who prove their value. His helmet turned toward both Elias and the alien woman. You say beauty is peace. You say harmony is strength. Prove it. Show us that this connection has power. How? Elias asked. The Vorun leader pointed toward the glowing forest behind them. There is a creature in these lands, a beast of resonance. It reflects the emotional balance of the world. When this planet was peaceful, it slept. But our arrival has awakened it. The ground rumbled faintly, as if agreeing. If you can calm the beast without force, the Vorun leader said, then your harmony has power. If you cannot, and then your peace is weakness. And we will take the world. The terms were clear, the challenge had been set. The alien woman turned to Elias and their eyes met. There was no romance in that gaze. No dramatics. Just trust, pure and steady. You spoke of beauty of spirit, she said softly. Now let us show them. Elias nodded. The elder placed a glowing hand on both their shoulders. The beast of resonance does not respond to strength. It responds to truth. You must be honest in your heart. The captain spoke urgently. Elias, you don't have to do this alone. But the alien woman shook her head. He does not go alone. I go with him. Harmony is shared, the Vorun leader stepped aside, allowing them passage. The humans and Luminari held their breath as Elias, and the alien woman began walking into the deeper forest, toward the unknown, toward the beast, toward the test that would decide the fate of two worlds. To be continued. Elias and the luminary woman walked deeper into the glowing violet forest. The air grew still, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The trees here were taller, their leaves glowing softly like lanterns. Strange mist floated near the ground, swirling around their feet as they moved forward. Neither spoke at first. The silence was not empty. It was thoughtful. Finally, the woman spoke softly. "My name," she said, "is Liara." Elias smiled gently. "It suits you." She looked at him curiously. "Why?" "Because your presence feels calm," he answered. "Your voice, your movements, even your silence, all feel like light on still water." Liara lowered her eyes for a moment, not embarrassed, but thoughtful. "In our world, names are not chosen," she said. "They are felt. You would call it intuition." "It's beautiful," Elias replied. Again she paused, this time longer. "You continue to use that word," she said. "Beautiful, even now." Elias nodded. "Because it is the truth." Liara's expression softened. The path ahead widened into a clearing, but unlike the peaceful one earlier, this place felt heavy. The air shimmered as if vibrating. The ground throbbed gently like a heartbeat. The beast of resonance was near. A deep sound, not a roar, not a growl, rolled through the clearing. It felt like emotion turned into vibration. Sadness. Fear. Confusion. Liara touched the ground. "It is frightened. It feels the conflict." Elias listened. The trembling air reminded him of something. Not anger, but loneliness. A world threatened, a harmony broken. Another vibration came, stronger. This time, and bushes swayed as something massive moved through them. Then the beast appeared. It was enormous, taller than trees, its body covered in layered scales that shimmered like shifting stained glass. Its eyes were deep, endless, reflecting everything around it. Its body seemed formed not of muscle alone, but of emotion made form. When it stepped into the clearing, the ground trembled, but not in aggression. It was in distress. The creature looked at Elias and Liara, its gaze heavy, searching. Elias felt it, not in his mind, but in his heart. The creature was scared. Liara stepped forward slowly. She began to hum, a soft, melodic tone. Her voice was gentle and low, as if singing a memory rather than a song. Her glow brightened, spreading warm light into the clearing. The trembling slowed. The beast listened. Elias realized something. The creature reacted to emotional honesty, not sound itself. Liara was not singing a melody. She was expressing peace. So Elias closed his eyes. He remembered Earth, the cool wind over ocean waves, the laughter of children in the streets, the warmth of holding someone's hand, the rising sun, the sound of rain, the way silence sometimes made one feel safe, not alone. He spoke, not loudly, but with a steady heart. "We are here in peace. We are here to protect, not to take. We do not want to break your harmony." The beast's eyes flickered. Liara spoke next, her voice full of sincerity. "This world is still your home. The fear is not yours. It is brought from outside, but harmony can be restored. Balance can return." The beast stepped closer, enormous but gentle. Liara turned to Elias, and a realization passed between them without words. The beast did not need words. It needed connection. So Elias did something simple, something quiet, something deeply human. He placed his hand softly on the creature's scaled surface. There was no fear, no hesitation. His touch said, "I am with you. You are not alone. We will protect what matters." The beast's trembling slowed, then softened. then finally fell still. Its scales glowed, not brightly, but warmly, like starlight reflected in calm water. Harmony returned. Liara exhaled with relief. The beast lowered its head gently toward them, a sign of trust. Then the ground vibrated again, not from emotion, but footsteps. The Voroon had followed. Their leader stepped into the clearing. His armor gleamed coldly in the soft glow. He saw the beast calm. He saw Elias and Liara standing side by side, unafraid, and he stopped. No commands, no threats, just silence. The Voroon soldiers waited behind him. The leader finally spoke, but his voice was different now, quieter. "You tamed it." Elias shook his head. "No, we did not control it. We listened to it. We respected it." Liara added, "This is the lesson of harmony. Strength does not mean taking. Strength means understanding." The Voroon leader looked at them, truly looked, not with arrogance, not with superiority, but with consideration. "You showed influence over something powerful," he said. "Not through dominance, but through presence." Elias nodded. "We didn't prove harmony is stronger than conflict. We proved harmony prevents the need for conflict." The forest grew still, as if waiting for the leader's decision. The Voroon commander turned to his soldiers. "Stand down." Their weapons lowered. He faced Elias and Liara once more. "Our doctrine teaches that only power creates safety," he said. "We believed emotion to be weakness, but your connection altered reality. That is a form of power we have not studied." Liara stepped forward gently. "Harmony is not one mind. It is many minds moving together. You do not have to be alone in strength." The Voroon leader paused. Then, slowly, he placed his hand over his chest. "We will withdraw," he said, "but not as enemies. As observers, and possibly future allies." Elias felt relief wash through him. Liara closed her eyes, letting her glow return to full brightness. The beast of resonance lifted its head and released a soft, echoing tone, peaceful, calm, a blessing. The Voroon leader signaled his soldiers. They turned and walked back toward their shuttle. Not defeated, but changed. The sky, once shadowed by war, began to clear again. Liara turned to Elias. "You spoke truth," she said softly. "Your heart guided peace." Elias smiled, not proud, not triumphant, but grateful. "You helped me see what harmony truly means," he replied. She looked into his eyes, and there was no misunderstanding. Their connection was not romance, not desire, but mutual recognition. Two beings from different worlds, two spirits aligned not by shape, but by heart. The luminary elder returned with the others, relief spreading across the clearing. "You have changed more than fate," the elder said. "You have changed understanding." The captain stepped beside Elias, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "I underestimated you," she admitted. "You didn't just communicate, you united." Elias looked out across the violet forest, where the beast now rested peacefully again. "I didn't do it alone," he said. Liara smiled, a soft, glowing smile. "You saw beauty," she said. "Not in form, but in meaning, and that changed everything." The humans prepared to return to Aurora's promise. The luminary gathered to share songs of harmony restored. The Voroon warship rose into the sky, slowly, respectfully, leaving without taking anything. As the ship lifted off, Elias looked at Liara one last time before departing. She asked him gently, "Will you return?" Elias nodded. "Yes." "Because connection is something worth protecting." Liara placed her hand over her chest, the gesture of her people. "And because you called it beautiful." Elias smiled softly. Still true. The engines hummed, the forest swayed, the world glowed. Peace not forced, but chosen. Humanity had not impressed through strength. Humanity had impressed through heart. and the stars now had one more world where humans were not strangers, but friends.